Man, this is a name I haven't seen in a long time. I hope you've been well. Psyculturist is back making anime content maybe, but ooh, we got some drama. Not really a drama, a statement and a topic that I fucking love to discuss. Thank you, Blake, for 11 months. Thank you, appreciate that, man. Analysis reactions are cooked because people decided fake screaming and over-the-top reactions are the standard. Ooh, I mean, hey, that's what the market wants, right? No matter how much you feel that your content may be better, it is the proper way to do it. At the end of the day, our entitlements that we hold for the masses will never change the behavior of the masses, right? It's just a game, and there's a lot of different people that want different types of content, and it turns out that most people don't want to basically dive deep. They would much rather have a chill time, turning their brain off and rewatching their favorite moments with another person who is able to deliver these emotional, passionate, fake, sometimes fake reactions that touches them in the heart. Nothing wrong with that, but I understand the frustration, right? The moment the reactor shows an ounce of actual media literacy, viewers read it as boring or pre-watched and dip. Well, thankfully, I've been able to find my piece of the corner in the internet where we can dive deep, but we can also do a little bit of everything, the comedy, the analysis. But before we get a little bit deeper, I'm gonna play this clip again because I love this clip. This is, I think, one of my defining moments of a reaction channel. We already played it a couple days ago. Play this shit. For too fucking long have people been fed with reaction slop on YouTube. Motherfuckers just sitting there saying nothing. The extent of a reaction is this. Oh my god! No way! No fucking way! Uh-huh. Do you even understand where the term react messiah comes from? Spit. I'm here to deliver you to paradise. I watched reaction content growing up and I thought to myself, damn, these motherfuckers really making the annual salary in a month watching anime without saying anything. Yeah. I remember watching One Piece reactions back in the day, and these dudes would say nothing. In my favorite moments, when I want someone to talk about the core themes, I want someone to actually think more than just, oh my god, and just briefly glance away, to dive deep. Yeah. I identified that pain point, and I decided, fuck it. If no one's gonna do it, I'll do it myself. Yep. So I pulled up, and that's why I'm the React Messiah. I'm here to deliver you to paradise from all these fucking garbage-ass reactions where motherfuckers, again, from the beginning, has just been lazily just watching, barely understanding anything. They have no understanding of character motivation. They have no ability to theory craft. All they can do is just like make a couple shitty jokes here and there, laugh with their friends, and that's the height of their reactions. It's gotten so fucking bad. This part. Retards come into my fucking videos and say, oh, you pause too much, you talk too much, why don't you react more? Hey retard. Hey retard! Do you know what a reaction is? I'm literally reacting. You don't even know what a reaction is because you've been poisoned. I'm literally reacting. I am doing the minimum effort to put in the fucking time to talk and react about these shows, but because these fucking children have been poisoned. They're like some TikTok brain shit. They grew up watching these fucking mainstream channels where all they do is just watch Battle Shonen and Unga Bunga crayon eating shows, and they think that a reaction is straight up a person sitting there and going type shit. No way! Oh my god! Type shit. I do like saying that. Don't worry though. You are misguided lambs, and I welcome you. You can change your faith and follow my path. I'm pointing the way. When you watch my video, you should be on your fucking knees. Licking my shoes, chanting Lisan al-Gaib. Show me the way. Voice from the outer world, deliver us to paradise. That is the quality, the standard that I hope that my videos represent when you watch my content. and it's been a long time cooking.
Yeah.
I've been putting the fucking work in
Day in, day out.
And finally, motherfuckers are starting to realize that
Maybe, just maybe.
there is a quality difference in the
In the
type
way
of
that I do
reactions
it?
that I'm able to do, some of my competitors are able to do, and some of these fucking dinosaurs that have just been coasting on their asses because they've gotten so fucking big, bro. That's how I genuinely feel about this shit.
Yep, and you've seen this clip, and it accurately summarizes the state of affairs for reaction content. But here's the thing, right? I have, again, a lot of things I've really thought about, you know, after presenting myself that way over the last half a year, and realized that, you know, at the end of the day, well, okay, you know what? Let's just keep reading the tweets first, right? Okay, some glaze for me, ha ha ha. There are people that want that type of reaction, being a hype man. Yeah, good for him, you know, respect him, I love that actually discuss the show, and like other you can pick an emoji and applies to the whole reaction. They also say stop pausing too much, and when you cater towards those type of people, that I should say pause and explain everything. Oof, I think ultimately it's finding what's working best for you. I know with the analysis I do, I've grown and leaned into me doing it the way I do, blah blah blah. But basically, you have to find your own type of reactions that fits to people. And here's the thing, right? I do genuinely believe that most people that consume reaction content, I think there's a big demographic, especially within the battle shonen community, where they're not expecting some sort of analysis or a deep dive or commentary explaining what's actually going on. People don't care. These are lonely children that simply want to watch a show with another person that they think might be their friend. It's a very parasocial experience where they have no one to watch it with. They find a reaction channel on YouTube and they watch along. That's it. But here's the thing. There are, again, I think so many people who seek out reaction content based off of loneliness and then find channels where they're just straight up grifting in the way that they present themselves. They don't even like anime. A lot of the times they're just actual tourists that have no understanding of anime culture. They watch the most popular shit, and because they know how to game the YouTube algorithm in picking a popular opening and pumping out content that way, you can notice that the quality kind of sucks. But here's the thing, there's a lot of kids that want that hype, and the more that this has been happening, the more that people's standards towards what a reaction may be has been reduced down to a couple of monkeys screaming and yelling. And you know what? I find that hype too. In fact, one of my favorite reaction channels is actually this. Do you guys know who, fuck. He's Uzumaki Khan. Apparently he's actually quite thoughtful too, and speaks a lot about the stories and the plot. But I think a lot of people probably have seen this legend's face here and once in a while, the One Piece reactions, where he's popping the fuck off, something crazy happens and he goes "Duh!" and then he falls and then the fucking chair falls apart, and it's funny. It's really funny. I also really like that he's doing, you know, these type of thumbnails that I've been doing too, and there's nothing wrong with that. And what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, you can't change the way that people want content. But there's so many different types of people out there that if you hone in on your own craft and your own niche, you can find your own crowd. Like, there's a lot of people, when they watch my content, every once in a while, you know, we kind of start to pop off, right? Every, 3 months or so, new trend, new things, channel goes big, shadow ban, unbanned, and new influx of people come in. And quite a lot of times, especially when they watch my more analytical content like ReZero, they watch it and they're like, wow, so fucking thoughtful. It's like, this guy gets it. This guy actually talks about it. And as many people as there are that support me in this type of content, there's also people that say, I fucking hate this. You pause and you're fucking yapping. I'm here for a reaction, not a fucking presentation. And that has to do, again, with how reaction content has been standardized due to the popular meta of people just screaming and then capitalizing that audience of children who just wants the hype, versus me trying to define a new meta of people who I think that exists. Like, from the beginning, what did I say? My pain point, right? If you want to start any business in a saturated market, you have to understand how to come at this at a different angle. You need to be able to penetrate the market and disturb it in a way that addresses the pain points of the existing audience. I was a consumer of reaction content, and my pain point basically means, what are you frustrated about? Whether it be a game you play or whatever service you experience, what pisses you off? What's the something that, you feel could be better? To me, it was, again, people not really talking about any of these scenes. They just yell and scream and they let these moments pass by. I want someone to stop and, after watching a section, actually dissect why this is hype, what this could mean, theory craft, and not only that, to joke about it too. Because I think that there
isn't just emoji reactors or just, what's the word? Analysis reactors. I think that as a reactor, let's bring this Blue Lock chart, character skill chart to, right over here, right? I think, now let's not choose Mikage. Let's choose, Isagi. I like these charts because I think that it, presents some sort of like basically attributes, right? Of like, I don't know, maybe comedy, right? Maybe this is like, hold on, why is the picture like this? Let me bring you a better one. Why? Someone took a fucking screenshot of that and it just doesn't look very good. I don't fucking know. Let's just pick fucking Oliver, bro. I don't know. I want you to look at this chart and, maybe this section, right? Maybe, come on. Maybe this section right here, right? Maybe this could be, analysis, right? Anal analysis. Maybe this person, right? This section could be, I don't know, comedy, right? Humor, entertainment, jokes, right? This person, and so on and so forth, right? And what I'm trying to say is, as a reactor, you shouldn't, in my opinion, I think a reactor, a proper, competent, a complete reactor should be able to do everything. They should be able to watch the show, joke about it, entertain, humor, but that doesn't mean that you can't actually understand a show. You should actually be able to break it down and present it to an audience and explain to them what is the thought process going on between these characters. Has there been any story themes that we can relate to from other episodes or different animes and present that? Are there life experiences that you can relate into these scenes and present a greater story beyond that? Are you able to make the audience watch a reaction of a show for your commentary rather than the show you're watching, because that's how compelling you are? I think that a complete reactor is not beholden to a certain flavor of just emoji or analysis. Now, if you want to specialize, right? If you want to specifically specialize in one type of reactions, then go for it. In fact, it might be a bad idea for you to be a complete reactor because maybe you're not well spoken, Like, I don't want to glaze myself too much here, but I think that one of my strongest skill suit is my yapping ability. No matter what's happening, my flow of dialogue, whatever is happening, I can talk and talk, and that's why these videos are also not edited. It's one take. Many people can't do that because they can't have a coherent thought process that prolongs through the entire video. It's going to be awkward pauses here and there, and that's why a lot of the times when you watch YouTube videos, there's a lot of cuts happening at the end of a sentence, and it looks like, did this person start recording again? Yeah, it is. And because that is my skill suit, I think it's way more tailored towards providing commentary towards whatever's going on. But beyond that, I'm not just a boring book nerd. I think that I'm actually a pretty funny person, and I can make humorous, witty remarks about any single instance going on. And by doing so, I can close the gap between the people who want to dive deep, but also the people who actually wants these passionate emotional reactions, whether they be crash outs or me just fucking screaming. Because let's get real, I scream all the time too. I yell and I screech like a monkey and I go like this all the time too. But that's not the only thing I do, right? And because the way that I've been able to bridge the gap between these two factions, or an analytical versus emoji, I think that I've created a corner in my own niche where people have realized that there is a different way to do reactions. There is a different meta. You don't have to present yourself as just this. I'm simply playing to my strength. And just because, and listen, me saying I created this meta is kind of crazy, of like, wow, you're the first one to pause. I'm not. But I do think that of all the reaction channels out there, I am getting bigger and bigger using this style, and people are recognizing that, this guy really does it differently, right? So to pull everything together again, I think that a complete reactor should be able to do everything. And you shouldn't limit yourself to one type of reactions because you see it doing well on YouTube. You should figure out what are you good at, and honestly, develop the meta. Why stop here? Maybe there's something that I haven't even thought about that is actually way more appealing, and something that I can't do because that's not me, but someone else can, right? And that's why I think Nicholas Light's also very interesting, because he has crafted his own persona by overreacting, where he doesn't, like, watching the show and analytically understanding is not the priority. He's here to literally just
put on a fucking performance and scream and yell and make these jokes, and basically he's able to transform that. You can reduce that to a clown fiesta or a complain and cry, but the numbers don't lie and the audience is there. So like, understand your skill set, develop that, and make sure that you polish that, because the better you do, the more people will find you. I do think that it is annoying to have people come in and complain that, oh my God, you're pausing, blah, blah, blah. And I usually just ban them. Every once in a while, I make fun of them and say, you motherfuckers don't even know what a reaction is. But again, it's very counterproductive to shame an audience and say that like you are a monkey and you don't deserve this content. It's better to just move on and understand that everybody has different flavors, everybody has different preferences, and you can't cater towards everybody. But that's fine. When you're doing content creation, there's so many people around that you will find your own community and crowd, and you will build that shit up. So to kind of circle back into beginning of this, I understand the frustrations that Ed has. It does feel annoying. I think he definitely goes way further, deeper into the analysis, and maybe this really does piss a lot of people off. But I do, and the more that you specialize like this, the more niche you'll become, right? It's harder to become more mainstream, and therefore the viewership will die. But once you specialize like this, you will get a much more hardcore loyal audience. I think his Twitch viewership kind of represents that. Despite him not making any content on YouTube, it's actually kind of crazy how well Psychologist does on Twitch side of things without having to advertise, because he has his own community of hardcore loyal people that want him to do this type of content. Now, I think that there are actual faults though. There are problems that I think that I understand for myself when I do reactions like this. And the main problem, I think, is knowing when to pause, right? Knowing when to pause, I think, is an actual skill. Because the biggest complaint is the ruining of an immersion when you are pausing during a certain scene. And it's hard to know, like, is this scene over? Like, for example, we have a crazy fucking fight scene happening, or some crazy dialogue happening, and it's going, and I feel like this is an important scene. If I pause, I kind of kill the hype, but at the same time, I'm able to give a little bit of insight. And maybe if I unpause, they would start talking about things that I am questioning and have already answered. So what I'm trying to say is, there are times where I pause, where I shouldn't have, but I don't have the foresight to know that like this scene has ended or not, or I'm ruining something. And sometimes that actually leads to funnier content, because I'm like, oh, what about this? What about that? I'm like, there's no way this could happen. And I unpause and boom, immediately that thing happens. And now that's kind of funny, right? It's just like, wow, you know, the reactor tried to guess at this point and the exact opposite happened. That's funny in its own sense. And at the end of the day, like, the immersion for the consumer doesn't matter. I think that the immersion for me matters. And the more locked in, the more I understand what's going on, the more immersed I am. So even though viewers are complaining about some sort of flow being broken, remember, you're not watching these reactions as your first pass. Some people will, right? But vast majority of people have already seen it, and you're already immersed from that. You've already had your first time experience. Your virginity has not been ruined. When you come to watch me, you will feel like, oh my God, this is my favorite scene, but I paused and like, no, keep it playing, but I'm trying to make different type of content. And at the end of the day, right, I have to, again, be aware of, you can't just fucking pause to just talk about for the sake of talking. Let a scene play out. Lately, right, what I've been really doing is, I can kind of tell when something significant is happening or something hype is happening. The music is building up, the art style changes, something is different. And you're like, yep, we're going to let it play out. And after it let it play out, there's a part where it kind of cools down. Boom, that's where you pause. And then you go back and hype up these different moments and kind of like break down these things, and then you play it again. So I think that I've been very aware, right? As much as you may think that I'm just a I don't hear the criticism. No. I do read the criticism. I do read and listen to the pain points, because at the end of the day, these pain points, the better you solve, the better the experience will be. Not every hate comment or criticism is unproductive. And I mean, even the pausing reactions, this started because of a viewer complaining that like, bro, you're just talking over these scenes. You are literally just talking over these scenes and you're not catching anything. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're just a hater. But at a certain point, I realized maybe they're right. Maybe there's a better way that I can present my ideas. Maybe if I actually pause and gave out my full thought process and let these scenes play out on its own, I'm no longer talking over the scenes. We can lock in and we can get a better experience. And that's how this channel has evolved. So listen, I hear you, I understand, but you have to also realize that it's really hard for me to understand exactly when is a good time to pause. I think that I've been doing a better job recently. And not only that, when I pause, I don't talk for like 10 minutes, right? And that's not like a shot at Ed. Again, there's different ways to do it, but my, again, intention is to have a very balanced way where even if I pause to talk, it'll be very short. It'll be concise, it'll be short, and I'm not ruining the immersion and the buildup. In fact, I want to add on to it. I want to add on to the hype, add on to the immersion by feeding you more different insight and commentary, and then we let it play out. And by having a better tempo, I think tempo is a good word for this, right? Of knowing when to pause, knowing how much to say, and then to let it play again, I'm able to craft and polish and make my reactions better and better. And hopefully you guys have started to understand and realize that, like, okay, I'm actually starting to think about it. I'm not so far gone in my own fucking corner that, like, I am delusional to the, I guess, the frustrations that my audience has. Anyways, these are a lot of the different things that I was, thinking about. At the end of the day, I think the biggest TLDR I want to mention is, yes, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of children who don't even know what a good reaction is because their definition of a reaction is just watching another dude just yell. And you know what? There's plenty of channels for that. No hate to them. Go ahead. Go watch that shit. But I want to do something more. I want to cater towards a different crowd. But not only that, I want to have a complete skill set. I don't want to be known as just an analytical guy. I don't want to be known as just a hype guy. I want to be able to do it all. I want to be humorous. I want to be insightful. I want to be witty. I want to be able to have fun and lock in and create my own standard and type of reactions and create a community based off of that. Because at the end of the day, when you're doing content creation, when you're doing online stuff, there's no point trying to appeal to everybody. Pick your strengths, pick your strong suits, work off of that, and eventually a community will build around you.